Hey class, Miss Brewer here for your introductory video to English 111 IN25B. So first and foremost, I just want to say this is a 5-week course, and in the 5-week course you're completing the exact same amount of work as a 10-week or a 16-week course. So I just kind of want to go over some expectations for the course in this video and your week 1, part 1 assignments, and you'll have a second video for your part 2 assignments, and then I'll try to consolidate the videos from then on into one per week. But because I have my intro stuff to go through today and you know, an overview of the course, you'll have 2 videos for week 1. Okay, so first, let me just say how the course is laid out. So what I did was essentially take my 10-week course and took those 10 weeks and broke them up in half so that you have a week 1 part 1, week 1 part 2 to get everything done that you need for the course. Okay, so you are essentially doing 2 weeks worth of work in 1 week. So be prepared to buckle down and knock it out in 5 weeks. And so that's what you'll see. You'll see week 1, part 1, week 1, part 2, week 2, so on and so forth. And I will open both parts to each week at the beginning of the week. So feel free to work as quickly as you need to through those things. So I just want to start out with some basic information for the course. First of all, with these lecture videos, always feel free to, you don't have to watch me talk to you. So you can open up Moodle and make sure that you're following along with me in Moodle as I go through the resources and talk about things. So I'm in Moodle right now, and I'm going to start with the syllabus, and I know you can read, so I'm only going to go over a few things on the syllabus. First of all, you have my contact information. I have office hours Monday through Thursday virtually, and Monday and Wednesday it's from 1 to 2:30 p.m. and Tuesday and Thursday is from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. So you can log on. There's a link provided to you in Moodle, and jump in, ask me a question live, and I can answer you, and then jump right back out. So you're not required to stay for the whole thing. It's just to help you out, okay? You also have a phone number here, and that phone number will get you to my Google Voice number if you really need to leave me a message. But email is much faster, but feel free to use that phone number. You won't get a response right away, but you will get one. I will give you a call back. Okay, so I just want to go over the breakdown of the grading. So I've scrolled down to grading. So you have 4 categories in this class. And the first category you have is coursework, of course, is 40% of your work, so 40% of your grade. So coursework includes any journals, quizzes, tests if you have them, class discussions, which we have quite a few of, classwork assignments, if you have mini essays, which I don't think you guys really do here. Basically anything not included in MLA format or APA format categories, okay? So you're gonna have a lot of work or more work in that category than the others, and it's weighted a little bit heavier. And then you have your MLA format category, and we'll be working in MLA format at the beginning of the course for about a week or 2. And the MLA format is going to include a literary analysis paper, and we'll be reading some poems, and you'll be analyzing the themes of those poems, and you'll be writing in MLA format. So there are only 3 grades in that category, and it is your thesis and outline in MLA format, it is your rough draft, and it is your final draft. So you have 3 grades in there, so you want to make sure you turn all of those assignments in. APA format is worth 30%, and that's where the rest of the writing that you'll do in this course and the research that you're doing in this course will exist. That'll include an annotated bibliography, a literature review, a rough draft, a literature review, final draft, and a final business PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so you have in there about 5 grades, so you want to make sure you turn all of that in. And then your final exam is worth 10%. And your final exam will cover some poetry analysis questions, MLA format and APA format, formal academic writing, and business writing. Okay, so that's what you'll need to know, okay, just to be aware. My course policies are listed underneath, so in order to contact me, it's best to use email, okay, that's going to be the quickest way, or jump in during a virtual office hour. When you email me, you have to use a particular format. The format is right here It's in course policies under contacting your instructor. And there's an example here for you. It just says use a salutation. So good morning, so-and-so. My name is, I am in your English 112. Make sure you put the section number because I have 4 English 112s this summer. So if you just say English 112 online, I don't know which class you're talking about. So make sure you say English 112 IN25B, okay? I would like clarification on this particular assignment, and my specific questions are this. Then you have a sign off, thank you, or have a great day, or whatever, sincerely, and your name, okay? So your attendance assignment for this week is in Moodle. You're going to open up the assignment and you're going to write an email to me in this format. You can make up a question, you can make up an assignment, or you can just say, you know, leave it blank. I would like clarification on blank, and my specific questions are blank, but I want you to write an email to me in the proper format. You are submitting this in Moodle, so don't email me. Open up the attendance assignment and write it in that assignment, okay? Super important to remember that. I also just want you guys to be aware that while you may have FERPA forms on file, that's great. That allows me with parental communication, but I communicate with the student. So if your parents have questions, you need to email me and you can CC them on that if you have a FERPA form on file. If your parents email me individually asking questions, if you have a FERPA form on file, I will then direct the email to you, okay, in response. So just be aware of that. For submitting assignments, it is imperative that anytime you have a formal assignment, a paper, a rough draft, your PowerPoint presentation, that you use Microsoft for that. And there is a free Microsoft download available for you in course resources in Moodle. So make sure you're using Microsoft. I do not accept Pages or anything like that, RTFs or Google links. That will not be accepted, okay? So it's imperative that you turn it in the proper format. Microsoft is what is expected. So make sure you turn that in. The late work procedure for you guys, you have a due date and you have a deadline for major assignments. So the due date is whatever is listed as the due date. Your deadline is the next day, 24 hours later. That's it. It's a 5-week course, so you have to move on. So you have essentially an extra day, but you will lose 10% off of the assignment for that day. After that day, I will not accept the assignment late. So make sure you guys are on top of your game here, okay? Attendance assignments do not fall under a grace period. So if your attendance assignment is late, you will be marked absent. And if you are marked absent more than once, you're going to be dropped from the course, okay? Because that's all you can really afford for 10% of the class. The literature review, 24 hours late, and which is the same as the deadline. However, it will be a 15-point deduction if the literature review is late. And your final class presentation will not be accepted late. So make sure you get that turned in on time. There's a plagiarism policy here that just goes over basically incidental plagiarism. Sometimes it's accidental, but you need to understand that plagiarism is not okay, and that the first instance of plagiarism in the course will result in a 0 on the assignment, and the second instance of plagiarism in the course will have you dropped from the course. And that is the English department. I'm pretty sure the Arts and Sciences now department policy. And then if you need to withdraw from the course, be sure you email me so I can process it as soon as possible, okay? There's other program information that I do want you to read through. It's super important, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through that. So make sure you do read the entire syllabus. Okay, so I'm going back to English 112. We've gone through the syllabus. Underneath of that, you have contact information for me. You have your link where you can click to log into a virtual office hour during the times that I will be on. And then you have my Google phone, which is what you should use because I'm not going to be in the office during the summertime because of COVID. And of course, my email. Your major assignments in the course, if you click there, it'll tell you about what are the major assignments for this course. Sending email just kind of goes more in depth about the email process. But again, your attendance assignment needs to come from the syllabus. So make sure you follow that format. I use the announcement features often. You will get announcements to your email, and then you will also be able to click on there and read all of the announcements for the course. Underneath support, it's really important that you see that little puzzle piece, need a tutor, okay? Because we offer tutoring online, and sometimes I'll require you to get your papers edited through that program. So become familiar with that. Resources, you have your free download for Microsoft Office. No reason not to have Microsoft products. We will be utilizing the LRC for most of our research for this course. Okay, we don't do a whole lot of Google searches. We mostly live right there in that LRC link. And then there's a note for discussion forum grading, which is really important. So please be sure that you open this. This is how I'm grading your discussion forums. For this class, all of the discussion forums are worth 100 points. So your initial post is worth 50 points, and your replies to other peers are worth 25 points each. Let's see. So your enrollment procedure, it's time for you to jump on if you haven't already completed your enrollment assignment, it's imperative that you do so. If you submit the assignment, well, you won't be able to after June 24th at 11:55, and in turn you will be dropped from the course if that is not done. So make sure you do it. Now I'm going to get into week 1, part 1. Okay, so you're already watching your introductory video. I have a YouTube video for you guys about poetry and why poetry doesn't suck. It's a pretty interesting video to kick off the course. Your week 1 attendance assignment, as I have gone over, is simply for you to click on that link and write me an email in the format outlined in the syllabus. So we're going to be reading some poems this week. Your week 1 poems are listed there. You can click on each one. You are expected to read all of the poetry. You are expected to read all 5 of these poems. The first one is the Emily Dickinson poem, and there's a breakdown after it, so you can kind of see how to break down poetry. So you may want to start there, okay? You are expected, again, to read all of these poems, all right? And then what you will do after you've read the poems is you will complete Journal 2. So you will choose 2 poems, all right, to write about. And you will answer the questions in paragraph form. This is due Thursday by 11:55. So as you can see, we're moving very quickly. In regard to how you will analyze poetry, I am opening up my PowerPoint and I'm going to click through it really quickly with you guys, okay? So the purpose of poetry is to evoke emotion. That's a question you're probably going to see on your final. What is the purpose of poetry? It's to evoke emotion, okay? Written, spoken, or sung in a song. Sometimes it's scary for poetry, but this just tells you how to kind of dissect that poem and be comfortable with it. Sometimes it's okay if you don't get it the first time that you read it, all right? We have to read through and try to figure out how to dissect these poems so we do understand them. I highly suggest that you print out the text of the poem if you have the ability to. If not, have it open in front of you and have notebook paper where you are writing down your thoughts and your notes, okay? React to it. Circle or write down important words. Make sure that you're writing down if you remember something or if there's an allusion to something, okay? Anything that might be confusing or stands out to you as important, note that, all right? And then ask yourself these questions: the subject, the title, who, what, when, where, why. Answer the questions about the poem, okay? Go line by line through each poem if you need to and kind of say, what is the gist of this line? And that'll help you to understand it. All right, really think about the context of poetry. Why was it written? When was it written? What could they possibly be talking about? And while you may be able to relate some of the content of the poetry to things that may be happening today, remember that if it was written in the 1900s, they didn't know about certain things that are happening today. So do keep in mind what the author might be saying about their society. And then that very important question is, so what? Okay? And then finally, theme is super important. Theme is what the author is saying about society. And you will be prepared because you guys will be writing theme statements. So a theme statement would essentially be something to the effect of, the theme for this poem is that money is fake and whatever you think that the author is saying about society and the world in general, okay? Underneath all of that, you guys will see some scholarly articles. I highly suggest you read some as you go. So if a poem stands out to you, you don't have to read all of them. If a poem stands out to you and you like it and you think you may want to write about it later, you might want to go ahead and read the article that goes with that poem. So if I really like Langston Hughes's poems, I might go ahead and just read his scholarly article so that I have that done for my literary analysis work later. If you guys have any questions for week 1, part 1, please shoot me an email or jump into my virtual office hour and I will be happy to help you. And you can check in on the week 1, part 2 video, which is coming up next.